What's going on, everyone? My name is Miles. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to talk about what I think is the best gun or best weapon in Apex Legends, not only just in general, but the best weapon mainly for ranking up. And so a lot of people like to have their specific weapons that they like to go for in ranked, or whenever they're playing Apex, whenever they're trying to do good, they have weapons of their choice that they like the most. And I obviously have my weapon of choice, but my weapon of choice was based upon what I believe is the best weapon overall in the game in order to rank up. So we're going to talk about some good honorable mentions before I get into what I believe is the best one. And the reason I think it is the best one is not only because every pro player uses and loves it, but also because it can really outgun and outshine pretty much any weapon in Apex in a close-up 1v1. So, like I promised, we're going to start off with some honorable mentions. So the first honorable mention that I have is actually the Wingman. Now, all of you guys, I'm sure, love the Wingman, or at least loved the Wingman at one point in time. The Wingman has definitely received a lot of nerfs, probably more nerfs than any other weapon that I can think of, but it has received so many nerfs since it was launched, and I absolutely love this weapon still, but I really loved it back when it was first released back in early February of last year, because the fire rate was so fast and it was just so easy to just absolutely hammer people over and over and over with this Wingman. You could do a lot of damage really fast. So I used to use this weapon so much, and I use it a lot less now, but it definitely is still one of the best weapons in the game. Moving on to the second honorable mention I have is actually the Peacekeeper. Now, the Peacekeeper is a very high risk, high reward weapon, because if you can land your shots, this weapon can be the best in the game. But that's the problem. Landing your shots can be quite difficult to land sometimes, and that's where it gets kind of tricky. Now, moving on to my last honorable mention, I actually have the Flatline. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably were not expecting the Flatline to be in an honorable mention, but this weapon is really, really good because it does a lot of damage, it has a lot of ammo capacity, and then also it just has a good consistent fire rate, a lot faster than the Spitfire, but not as clunky as the Spitfire. And the Flatline is just a really good overall weapon. It has received some buffs over the last month, so that's why I think this weapon is definitely one of the best. It's probably not something I would use in a pro lobby if I had the choice, just because the recoil can be really unpredictable and really hard to understand sometimes. So I would really convert more towards an R301 or something like that. But the Flatline is definitely a really, really good weapon, and I would suggest using it if you guys are doubting it or not giving the respect that it deserves. So lastly, before we move into our final weapon of what I think is the best weapon in Apex, I want to go ahead and exclude the Kraber and the Mastiff and the L-Star, any legendary weapons. I just want to go ahead and exclude them. Not that the L-Star was going to be up here anyways, but I wanted to exclude them just because they're obviously legendary weapons. The Kraber and Mastiff are obviously the best weapons in the game because they just do so much damage, but the Mastiff is just incredible if you can just hit your shots correctly, kind of like the Peacekeeper. So obviously I needed to exclude them out, and I know I'm saying obviously a lot, and that is really tilting me right now. So the weapon that I think is the best in Apex, a lot of you are not going to be surprised at all when I say this. I'm sure you saw this was coming, and I actually didn't give you a good honorable mention because I knew that if I were to tell you, you were going to know what was going to be the best weapon anyways. You probably already knew, but the best weapon in Apex in my opinion is definitely the Hemlock. I just think I'm just kidding, it's the R99, and I'm sure you guys saw that one coming. And the reason I didn't tell you that the 301 was an honorable mention, because I knew if I told you the 301 was an honorable mention and not the best, then you guys would have known it was the R99 to begin with. So I know a lot of you guys might not like the R99, but it is an insane weapon. I know you've seen your favorite streamer use it all the time. By the way, speaking of your favorite streamer, I'm going to be streaming just this Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. So if you guys are looking for something to do, or you want to support your boy, come out on Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm also going to be doing my face reveal first before I kick off the stream with some games. So make sure to go follow me on Twitch. I'll leave a link down below. You guys can go follow me there. But yeah, guys, the best weapon in my opinion is the R99, and there's no reason to not believe that, just because it's so consistent. The fire rate is incredible. The damage is pretty good with the fire rate that it has. It has a lot of ammo capacity, and it's also pretty common to find since it is a light weapon. The recoil is very easy to control, and if you hit your shots like you should, it is an incredible weapon and really easy to one clip someone, which is why all the famous people use it. So I hope you guys understand why I think is the best weapon. If this is not your best weapon, I completely understand. It's all about your choice and your preference in this game. Let me know what your favorite weapon is down below, what weapon that you think is the best, and also make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Apex Legends daily videos. Make sure to leave a thumbs up for this video if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.